fish. That's our subject for today. Plenty of fish. Come on, say that with me. Plenty of fish. Have you ever heard of the dating app called Plenty of Fish? If you've heard of that dating app called Plenty of Fish, press, give me a high five, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. If you've ever heard of the dating app called Plenty of Fish, I mean, it is a very popular dating app. I'm not on there, but I hear people that are on there, and they talk about how popular the app is, Plenty of Fish. And you know where that comes from? It comes from the saying that people say there are plenty of fish in the sea, which means that often when people have been heartbroken or disappointed or come out of a relationship, they say, don't worry, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Which saying that, if that one didn't work out, throw that back in the sea and get another one. So the idea is that there are plenty of possibilities, there are plenty of options as it relates to the dating world. So it's called Plenty of Fish. And so we're looking today at that subject. Yes, I'm getting your attention. Did he say plenty of fish? Yes, I did say plenty of fish. That is our subject for today, plenty of fish. All right, and so when we look at the scriptures and we look at this idea of plenty of fish, pulley point number one, we look back at the creation story, and literally pulley point number one is C, creation. We look back at the creation story, and we notice that God created things and animals before God created people. And so when God said have dominion over the fish of the fish of the sea had already been created before human beings were created. So there are things that you ought to rule over that got there before you, and then you come right in to take your dominion. All right, that one was for free. All right, so when we look at fish, we look at creation, we look at the literal creatures of fish. Do you know that they are over, and they're still trying to figure it out, that there are over 10,000 different types of fish, over 10,000 different types of fish. And they're running out of, the different types. And as I read one said it's over 34,000. So somewhere between 10 and 34,000 different types of fish. And the fish that are in the sea are innumerable, which means that you can't count them. There's so many fish in the sea, and they're multiplying all the time. Anybody been fishing lately? Anybody is a fisher that you really go fishing? I know one of my besties, Sam, that he's a person that does fishing. And so there's so many fish that even though people are eating fish regularly, even though people are fishing regularly, that there's still plenty of fish in the sea, that there is a part of creation, that fish are constantly recreating themselves, reproducing themselves, that there is plenty of fish in the sea. So pulley point number one is that when we look at fish in the sea, we look at the literal creature that was created in creation, fish in the sea. All right? Pulley point number two. Fish is not only representing the creature from creation of fish, but it's also become the symbol of Christianity. Pulley point number two is Christianity. The symbol of Christianity is fish. That people, when you see the fish, that you know that that's a symbol of Christianity. And that's become a symbol of Christianity because one of the things that Jesus told his disciples is that I will make you fishers of men, or fishers of people. That they were doing natural fishing, and Jesus said, I will make you, I will form you, I will transform you to become fishers of people, that fishers of men, so that you're going to bring people in. That the whole process with the fish, that you bring them in. And I'm going to talk about that later, about the whole process of catching the fish. And so Jesus used that when he first started off his disciples. He used what they did, their occupation, what they were already doing, and he said, I'm going to make you fishers of men. Also, when Jesus performed miracles, there were some of the miracles of Jesus that were related to fish. When Jesus fed the 5,000, he did it with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. When Jesus fed the 4,000, he did it with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. When Jesus performed the prosperity miracle for Peter, he said, go down to the sea and catch the fish and get the money out of the fish's mouth. And so fish has become, in the New Testament, a symbol of Christianity, that we have been caught and we have been captured by God, that we are the fish and that we are multiplying and reproducing and bringing other people into Christianity. All right, so pulley point number one is that when we think of fish biblically in the Old Testament, we think about the creature, the creation of fish, and there are plenty of fish in the sea. Pulley point number two, when we think about fish, we think about Christianity. That is a symbol of Christianity because of the miracles that Jesus performed with fish and the fact that he told his disciples that they would be fishermen. All right, pulley point number three, when we look at fish biblically, Old Testament, New Testament, we can also look at fish metaphysically. And fish metaphysically don't represent the creatures and not necessarily the symbol of Christianity. But when we look at fish metaphysically, it's talking about your thoughts. It's talking about consciousness. And so when we look at fish metaphysically, we're talking about consciousness. We're talking about thoughts. So when we say there are plenty of fish in the sea, we're saying there are plenty of thoughts in your subconscious. That the fish in the sea metaphysically represent the thoughts in your subconscious phase of mind. That sea is your subconscious. Notice that the sea is deeper than the earth. And so it represents the level of thinking of your subconscious phase of mind. So when we say metaphysically there are plenty of fish in the sea, we're saying there are plenty of thoughts and feelings in your subconscious phase of mind. When we say your subconscious, we're talking about the past. We're talking about the receptacle. Just like the sea holds all the different sea creatures, and it doesn't just include fish, but it includes shellfish and crabs. Where are my seafood lovers? Shrimp and oysters and lobster. All these things are found in the sea. And so in your subconscious, there are all types of thoughts. There are all types of feelings. There are all types of decisions that you have made, and there are things that you are processing in your subconscious phase of mind. So when it says that you have dominion, because that was the text in Genesis, he said rule over. You have dominion over the fish in the sea, which means that you have power over your subconscious phase of mind. All the thoughts that are in your subconscious, you have dominion over them. All the feelings that are in your subconscious, you have dominion over them. All of the decisions that you've made in the past, you have dominion over that. Whether you're going to feel guilty about it, whether you're going to feel shame as a result of it, you have dominion over the fish of your sea. You have dominion over processing it, because sometimes we are not able to process the things in our conscious phase of mind. So in our dreams, we process them. In our daydreaming, we process them. In deja vu, we process them, because your subconscious is the receptacle of everything that's ever happened in your life. It goes into your subconscious. Every thought that you've ever had, every feeling that you've ever had, every experience that you've ever had, positive or negative, it is in your subconscious phase of mind. So what I'm saying, what is important for us to do is to go fishing. It's important for us to make sure that we're keeping our sea clean. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and they got this thing where you don't want to use straws. That wasn't smoking weed. That was for the straw. That you don't want to use straws, because when we use the plastic straws and they break down and they're recycled, somehow they wind up in the sea. They wind up in the water, and it hurts the fish and it does damage to the sea. And so what I'm saying to you today, what's in your sea? What's in your subconscious? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings that are in your subconscious phase of mind? You have dominion over the fish of your sea. You have dominion over your past. Whether or not you're going to allow the past, because remember, the fish in the sea are the subconscious phase of mind, which is the past. So you have the power, you have the dominion to decide, Gina said on Sunday, choose whether or not you're going to allow the fish of your sea to have dominion over you, or whether you're going to have dominion over the fish. Now just think about it. What if all the fish of the sea came upon the earth and they started having dominion over human beings? We would think that was weird. We would think that was crazy. Just the idea to think of the fish in the sea having power over human beings is a crazy kind of thought. And when you allow your past, those fish of the sea, to have power over you, then that's just as crazy as the fish in the sea having power over human beings. And so I'm telling you today that you have dominion, you have power, you have authority, you have choice about the fish of your sea. All the things that are in your subconscious, all the things that have happened in your past, the good, the bad, the ugly, you have dominion over it. It does not have dominion over you. You have dominion over it. And the way that the subconscious has power over us is that we keep feeding it. We keep talking about the past. We keep living it and reliving it over and over again. I'm telling you, you can release your past. And when you release your past and you take dominion over the fish of the sea, let it go. Paul said, this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind me, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. You're never going to be able to rise in consciousness until you take dominion over the fish of your sea. It's your thoughts, it's your feeling, they're your ideas. You have power over them. The Bible says, a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Are you going to live in your past? Are you going to keep regretting the past and regurgitating the past? Or are you going to take dominion over the fish of your sea? I'm telling you today, release it and let it go. You have dominion over your subconscious. Clean it out. Clear it out. That's what our denials are for. When we say those things that we do not desire and we declare that they do not have power over us, we are taking dominion over the fish of our sea. Because when we speak the word and when we declare the things of God, there are things that rise up in our subconscious. You're not going to have that because nobody in your family had that. And you're not going to be anything and you're not going to have anything because of your past. That's in your subconscious. Somebody said that to you and that fish is swimming in your sea. You have the power to go fishing and decide what you're going to pull out, what you're going to release, and what you're going to let go of. You have the power to go fishing in your own consciousness and decide what it is that you're going to keep floating in your sea and what it is that you're going to release and let go. Your past does not have power over you. You have power over it. There are plenty of fish. And let me tell you, the more you clean out your sea every day, more fish, more thoughts are being held in your subconscious phase of mind. So you got to go fishing and you got to decide what's going to stay floating in that sea and what it is that you're going to pull out, what it is that you're going to release, and what it is that you're going to let go. And so one of the things that God said, he said, not only are you made in my image, which is your divine potential, not only are you made in my likeness, which means that you have the power to manifest that potential right here and right now, but you have dominion. And so we're going to be talking about dominion. Somebody say with me dominion, which means I have power and I have authority over the fish of my sea. I will not allow my past to rule me. I will not allow my past to rob me. I have power over all those thoughts, feelings, ideas, experiences that have taken place in my past. The Bible says, behold, I will do a new thing, that I'm going to bring forth rivers in the deserts. I'm going to bring forth water in the wilderness. God is trying to do a new thing in your life, but you allowing the plenty of fish, all that stuff from the past, to stop you from moving forward. And so I declare and decree your dominion. We're looking over dominion over cities, and we're speaking dominion over states and over countries and dominion over other people. But I'm saying dominion over your thought, because thoughts are things, and what you're thinking about, you're bringing into expression in your life. So I'm saying today, take dominion over the fish of your sea. Take dominion over all of those things that are in your subconscious phase of mind. When they pop up, release them and let them go. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of the Daily Download. Let me tell you, y'all are on a roll. Every day, somebody, and sometimes there's more than one somebody, has invested in the Daily Download. So I'm saying sow a seed, meet a need, boost this post. Whatever seed that you sow will go towards us boosting today's post. Invest in this ministry. If you've been blessed by the word that you have received, sow a seed, meet a need, boost a post. And yes, we're going to keep breaking down Genesis chapter 1 and verse number 26 this week, because it's time for us to have dominion. It's time for us to rise up as the sons and daughters of God and be all that God has created us to be. But let me tell you, them fish in the sea, the plenty of fish is standing in somebody's way. It's time for you to rise up and take dominion over the fish of your sea. Well, until tomorrow morning, remember that today is the day and now is your time.